Okay, here's a video about I've made this thing. I have fitted 5 coils. This is just the one phase, as you can see, just one phase. But I've come across a problem which is very important. I want to share it with all of you, and that is when you're making an alternator, an axial flux alternator. Remember, this is an axial flux alternator, right? So you must gotta have one thing in mind, that when you're trying to decide for the symmetry of the coils. Suppose I decided for 18 coils, but then again when I measured my coil, they were not able to be fixed in the diameter that I already decided to have. The option with me was limited for the diameter, so 18 coils couldn't fit. That's why I decided to make 15 coils for my alternator. 15 coils divided in 3 phases, so each phase is going to have 5 coils, right? So the problem that I came across is that when you are thinking about making the symmetry of the coil, I have 5 coils. So at the back of this, the rotor contains magnets. These are 12 magnets. So 12 magnets cannot properly align in front of 15 coils, because let me show it to you practically. Suppose this is the north pole of a magnet and this is the south pole of the magnet, right? Suppose, for a minute. Then watch this one closely. This is south, this is north, south. When the south comes in front of this coil, but the same is not here. The same is not here in case of this coil. See? The south is here and the north pole is in front of this coil. Here in this case the south pole is in front of this coil. So what happens is that the sine wave that has been produced by this coil is been cancelled by this coil. So there is going to be a fluctuation, and the same symmetry is going on all the way down here. Suppose this is south, but this is again, this coil is faced in front of the north pole. This coil is again to the north pole, and the last one, the underneath, is again onto the south. So what happens is that my output is not accurate, and it's not constant. You see, look at this LED. It's not symmetrically, it's not constantly on, but it is rather working as a flip-flop circuit. It's working just like a flip-flop circuit. It should be on, constantly on, but it's not like that. The same kind of reading is being given to me on the voltmeter. When I measured it, it was supposed to give me 15 volt on to after in a constant RPM. It should give me 15 volt, but it is not going above 9 and 10 volt. This is the reason, because all the coils are not producing the same sine wave. It is hard to explain in the video, but when how can I do that? Let me see if I can just clearly mention it. I don't know if you people will be able to see it. When a coil, suppose this is a coil, when the north pole passes through it, right? So it produces a sine wave. Just imagine, it produces a sine wave like this, right? When the north pole passes through it and comes next the south pole. When the south pole passes this coil, then again the sine wave is complete. Here's a crest, this is a trough, crest and trough. So this is a complete sine wave. The problem in this situation that we have it on this alternator is that one coil is producing the crest, the other is producing the trough, and both the crest and trough at the same time. What happens is that one coil is producing crest, the other the coil is producing trough. They both cancel each other. Resultant is a straight line and no sine wave. This is my problem that I'm facing in my alternator. Now I have to decide to make the symmetry of the coils according to the number of magnets, or the both has to face, I mean each and every coil, coil number 1, coil number 2, coil number 3, coil number 4, coil number 5, all these coils has to pass through a north pole, no matter when one coil is passing from the one coil. If the magnet passing through one coil is on the north pole, the other should be on the north pole. All these coils have to pass through a north pole. Then again, when the south, then every coil has to pass to the south pole, right? So this is the correction that I have to make in my design. And after some of the calculations, I'll let everybody know what comes next. Thank you very much for watching my video. This is Naeem.